Now is Vinod Khosla, the first venture capitalist who invested in OpenAI and one of the godfathers of Silicon Valley. It's so great to have you on the show. Welcome.
Well, it's great to be here.
So as we're talking about the impact of generative AI, I do want to get your thoughts on this because it's something you've been thinking about, writing about for the better part of 2 decades, from as far as I can tell, and you were the first VC to invest in OpenAI. So how do you see this ecosystem taking shape and evolving?
Well, these things take a while to get to a certain level of maturity. It was 5 years ago in 2018 that we decided to invest in OpenAI because we believed AI would have a large impact on society and create lots of large businesses. When we invested, it wasn't clear when the breakthrough moment would come. Would the research take 4 years or 8 years or 12 years? Very hard to predict. But with ChatGPT, it became clear now was the time to really make that investment. In 2018, we so believed in AI, we invested probably twice the largest initial amount I've ever invested in a startup in 40 years I've been doing this.
Well, I was going to ask you another question, but because we are talking about OpenAI, I do want to get your thoughts on the drama that we saw there, whether it was the ousting of Altman, the reinstatement of Altman, and now the reconfiguration of the board. Why that drama started in the first place, especially when the media has been framing this as a responsible AI debate. Is that the right way to be thinking about it?
No, the media's talked about responsible AI. The media has talked about org structures. None of them are true. We had a couple of kooky board members in the Jonestown ilk of doomers. And the wrong thing was getting the wrong people on the board. That was a mistake. But otherwise, I think the thing to remember is the company is much better off today than it was the Friday before Thanksgiving week. It has a clear mandate, a better board, and more importantly, it's clearly established Sam's leadership. You know, there were 700 people or plus people, or almost the whole company willing to quit their very lucrative jobs to stay behind and with Sam Altman. So he clearly demonstrated his leadership and how much the board was out of touch with what Sam was doing, his leadership. It's also important to remember there wasn't ever a question of Sam's motivations. He's one of those rare executives who cared about the impact AI could have. He never took any compensation that he could have had and would have been worth billions of dollars to him personally today. But he chose not to take that, instead have no conflict of interest in pursuing this mission of AGI and AI benefiting humanity.
Okay, so 5 years ago, you made this unusually big, risky bet on generative AI, not knowing how long it would take to play out. What's your counterintuitive, big, risky bet now that everybody thinks that generative AI is the future?
Well, I do think if I look 4 years out from today, there will be other things that add beyond large language models, which is the technical term that's used, or generative AI. That'll be very, very important. For example, much better reasoning systems will come along. What that involves, it's a little hard to tell today, but there are exciting things happening in the background. So there will be other technologies that are complementary to LLMs that LLMs will access. So think of LLMs as the conductor in the middle. It could call a calculator tool or other technologies and access them. So that's the simple way to think about, if you're a human, you can use a calculator to do something, or you can use a hammer to do something else. LLMs will be the conductor.